So it's like, I mean, in one regard, I really feel bummed because,
there's not much.
I've got all of this stuff and I haven't done anything with it, right? But I don't, I mean, Bryce, I don't want to get in a goddamn fight with these guys. It's like,
in regards to,
well, it's like, the history of the operational side of the unit. And, I mean, do I think I can prove my point? Yes. But I don't want to,
I don't understand what conflict would be.
Well, the conflict is going to be the story they always believe versus what's the truth. Because, see, it's like Phil Moore. Our first commander, everybody said the first missile blew up at Walker was June 1st, 1963. Okay? They said, well, Edward Jaquette was his name. They said, well, they fired him immediately. Well, it's not true. He was already transferred in May. And so I'm talking with Phil, and Phil believes they fired him. And I wrote Phil Moore, and I said, Phil, I have a newspaper printed article from Rapid City, South Dakota, showing the big happy face of Colonel Edward M. Jaquette being named the commander of the 850th SMS, which was the Titan Ones.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
And Phil goes, where? You just send it to me. I said, because I asked Phil, I said, Phil, did you ever hear this? I think my second question is this. Do you think in their right mind, if a guy fucks up, do you really think they're going to give you another command position of another missile unit? Phil was like, I don't believe this, Gary. And I said, Phil, I think this is part of the problem all of these years that I kept hearing. So our second commander was present for the last 2 out of 3 that blew up. February of 64 and March of 64. Okay? And his last name was Shalafo. And that's why I got all of the newspaper articles I could find and I couldn't raise the kid. I tried everything. I even got a copy of the oldest son's graduation from Walker Elementary School on the base. Physically have the graduation announcement. Okay? Well, lo and behold, I found a little picture that had him on it, and on the back of it was from a newspaper article that said he was transferred to the Azores. All right? And I'm laughing. So, long story short, I get the guy. There happened to be a website with all of the kids that had graduated high school in the Azores. And lo and behold, the boy went on to go to the Air Force Academy and had a stellar Air Force career. Okay? Well, I grabbed the link and I wrote him and I explained who I was. I have this site that your father was the commander of. And here's all my questions. Well, lo and behold, the guy wrote me back and was thrilled. And then I talked with his younger sister. So I said, you got to fill me in. Everybody's saying your father was fired. I can't find it. I mean, yes, he was relieved, but he was given far more important jobs. So, I think sometimes it was you know what I mean, the rumor mill.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Well, it's kind of
I
tough.
mean,
It's kind of tough to think that even a transfer. All right, we're gonna transfer you from Atlas F to Titan 1. That's essentially not very far from each other.
exactly.
So you're essentially
Yeah,
taking
and
on.
then, the job they gave to Craig when they shut down First Generation, he was the officer put in charge of making sure it was all disposed of correctly. You're not going to give a screw up. I mean, yeah, you're going to put him in an office till he's got enough years to retire. But,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I
might have
don't
been
know.
a
Maybe
favor.
it's just me. I mean, it is, I come across great pictures, but I mean, I got all these new Air Force, not new, but new to me. I mean, Christ, they cost me a bloody fortune. But I can now check these books and I can see what's the true story. Like,
Yeah, you can.
our third
check.
commander, I think he was looking for his 15 minutes of fame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just wasn't, he's saying, oh, this old commander's name and this person's name, and all of these were terrible officers, and they did this, and this, and I fired them, and I did this. Well, if he fired him and 2 months later he's made full bird colonel, and he was a lieutenant colonel, I said, I doubt seriously if you fired him or the Strategic Air Command is just stupid.
Right.
And those boys weren't stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's like, I know, Bryce, it don't mean much to most people, but it's just like, I feel like I'm righting a wrong. Does that make sense to you?
For sure. I mean, I'm sure there was some back scratching going on.
Well, I mean, look, then they send him. Look, they send this guy after everybody else is gone. Milner moves out and he no longer is a squadron commander. He's just a lowly maintenance officer.
Damn.
With B-52s in Massachusetts. And he retires the next year. This other guy goes on and he's in charge of everything on the U-2s at Davis Monthan in Tucson. Well, you can't be that big of a screw up and you're going to give you all that side?
But all I'll say is, I mean, they have to point the finger. Somebody's got to have the finger pointed at them. But I don't think, just because you had 3 accidents, I don't think.
Well, that's it. I'm coming to the same conclusion. And they knew it.
Well, did they have a big shit about Damascus?
Well, I mean, that's a really good question. I don't know, because Titan 2 is not I don't know what happened to the unit commander. I mean, that's a really good question. I mean, I kind of like to know that answer. And what is kind of nice is Little Rock is still in business, right?
Right.
And they've got a great history of it. I mean, that would be, that'd be a damn interesting question to ask.
There's probably as you know, that was 20 years later, and a lot of media covered it. And
no, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's where it's at. Yeah. I mean, my wife and I went to South America in January.
Nice.
We just shut down in January. From now on, and everybody gets their vacations, right? So my wife and I, on my bucket list, I always wanted to go through the Panama Canal, right? And sure enough, we jumped on a cruise in January and did South America and went through the Panama Canal. Had a blast.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, it was kind of cute on the ship. But no,